Hi guys, welcome back to the kitchen. As you can see, I have a friend with me here today. You know, and there are those people in your life that they just walk in and you instantly get happy and you just big old smile on your face. So if you want to know where this one came from, it's this one right here. This is Shana Fischer, and she is in charge of Brilliant Sky Bakery, which is named for
the street I live on.
Perfect. It's a Brilliant Sky up in North Scottsdale, right?
Yeah, North Scottsdale, Carefree area, absolutely.
So Shana posed a question to me and said, Joanie, when are you going to do a Passover recipe?
Because it's coming up.
And I said, Shana, I have no Passover recipes. I don't know what to tell you. So guess who got volunteered to come over and make a Passover recipe?
I got
for
your
me.
back, girl.
So what are we making today?
We are going to make a really super simple recipe that anybody can do with their kids. They can do on their own. We're going to do toffee covered matzah.
Toffee covered matzah. And what is matzah?
Matzah is actually unleavened bread. It looks like this, almost like a cracker, and we eat it every day during Passover.
Okay. Now we talk about matzah balls, right?
Right.
So is that?
It's similar, yes. Matzah balls are made out of matzah meal, which is made out of matzah. There are two different types of matzah. There's the everyday matzah, and then there's the matzah that you eat on Passover. It has a different blessing told over it. Sometimes it's made in a different way, but essentially they're all very thin cracker-like.
I love it. So where do we start to make this matzah toffee situation?
Well, the first thing you're going to start is get yourself a cookie sheet, and you want to line it with aluminum foil. You can also line it with parchment paper, and you want to spray a little cooking spray on it.
Oh, let me get some of that.
Want it to stick.
Don't.
Nobody likes it. Hey, it's a working kitchen, people. You don't want the toffee to stick, so. All good back there, Simon?
I'm all right. It's okay. We're all right. All right, here you go.
Okay, terrific.
See, and you were worried. No, it's me who's going to screw this all up.
Not at all. So we'll just give it a nice little coating of it.
Perfect, because we want to be able to lift it out after we complete the process.
Right. And so we're going to use 4 sheets of matzah.
Ooh.
And so you just lay them down like this. And as you can see, you're saying, girl, these aren't
It ain't
going
gonna fit.
Right. So you'll just kind of break them up to
it's
fit.
like a puzzle, Tetris.
Yes, absolutely. Kind of line them up as best we can. So
very tricky. Now, what else do you do with matzah other than just eat it straight up?
You can do a lot of things with it. You can actually make what's called matzah brie, which is almost like a Jewish frittata, if you will. So you scramble up eggs, you soak the matzah in them, you put them all into a skillet, cook it up, and then they're really good either with applesauce on it or syrup.
Ooh, so many fun things you can do with the matzah.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So next step.
Next step, you're going to take your stick of butter here,
Stick
half
of
a cup
butter.
of butter, stick of butter, and place
Now,
it.
but you had told me that to be actually kosher, you don't want to use butter.
No, if you're keeping a really kosher household, especially for Passover, you're going to want to use margarine. I'm not super strict about that, so I'm going to go ahead and let us use butter.
We're okay with butter.
We're okay with butter.
I'm not like causing anybody
No. But again, if people want to adjust, if you're making this to bring to someone's house and you're not sure how kosher they keep, you can do it with margarine, and it's the same measurement.
Because the oil is opposed to
Correct.
milk. Okay, so the butter right in here.
The butter right in there.
All
Perfect.
right.
And then we're going to
Excellent.
let that melt completely before we add in the 1 cup of brown sugar.
Okay, cool. We want to make sure to use brown sugar.
Correct. Brown sugar, yes, because you want that really good toffiness that comes out of it. And also make sure it's packed in so you're getting a full cup. Don't skimp on that.
Don't skimp on it. I mean, if you're doing dessert, why would you skimp?
Well, exactly. That's why I actually did this dish, because it does have chocolate in it. And I kind of feel like fruit's a palate cleanser. I think that every dessert should contain chocolate.
I support that, Shana. And I always think of, your bakery is amazing.
Thank you.
And specifically, your pumpkin chocolate chip cookies are ridiculous.
Thank you.
Now, you have an awesome mom who I hope is watching. Fly Mama.
Fly Mama better be watching.
Little shout out for Fly Mama. Why is she fly?
Oh, she's fly for a number of reasons, but least of not which is her love of rap music. She loves rap music. She likes to go to the concerts. She takes photos. Just her entire being is super fly.
Cooking with sugar makes me nervous, like candy sugar situations.
Right, I know, because it gets so confusing. Softball, hardball, where are we at? What are we doing? And it is.
It's like a game.
I know, and then it's like, oh, you've got to put, the thermometer in, and you got to keep track.
Right.
And I always say that, your eyes and your nose and your mouth are the best things that you can have in a kitchen, other than a really good knife. And so we're going to be able to tell really by the smell, the sight, how it bubbles up, that when it's ready.
So you're going to be here to help.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to take off right now if you don't mind. I got places to go. Now I'll be here for you. So I think it's just about ready. So you can go ahead and put that in, and I'm going to do that for you just to be helpful.
Excellent.
As it gets all packed in there.
You were like really intentional. It wasn't just like a scoop and
absolutely
skosh. It was like pack it in there.
And then we're going to go ahead and just kind of mix that up so that we can get all that quickly dissolved.
Quickly dissolved. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I always think like candy making is just like one of the most scientific processes because you can screw up those sugar molecules so easily.
You really can. I mean, candy making, like Jacques Torres and those guys, they're studying for years and they're far more professional than I am at doing it. But I mean, anybody, you really shouldn't be intimidated. That's the one thing that I like to share with people is don't be intimidated in the kitchen. You can't. You can always fix a mistake. If something's too salty, you put a potato in it. You burn something, cut it off. No one will notice, right?
Burn your arm, cut it off.
Yeah,
no big deal.
It's fine.
Now I got some little like bits. Do I just bust those up?
Yeah, you just kind of bust those up.
Okay.
Using your
brown
and
sugar
if you're lucky
bits.
and you have a spatula like Joanie with a bow tie on it, getting all fancy.
The bow tie.
Terrific. So I would say lower this temp just a little bit.
Okay.
You want to put it down kind of low.
How do I know that? What was my telltale sign?
Once it's completely dissolved, you'll start to lower it. And then you're just going to go ahead and stir it. You can't, this is one of those recipes that you don't want to walk away from the pot that you're cooking it in, but you also don't have to be super vigilant about stirring constantly. You can kind of let it go for a few seconds and then watch. And what you're looking for is depending on the kind of toffee you like, because the end result is going to taste sort of like a Heath bar.
Oh, I love Heath bars. Awesome.
Yes. So what you're looking for as far as the bubbles go and the color of it is if you like that super intense toffee flavor, you're going to let it cook a little bit longer and there'll be more and more bubbles.
Okay.
If you want a little bit more of a light caramel color, you're just going to look for a few bubbles to come out.
Okay, and we definitely have some bubblage going on here.
Absolutely. So I would let it go a little bit longer.
Okay.
And this is just a great recipe that if you've been invited to someone's house for a Seder and you don't know what to bring, this is a perfect item to bring because usually traditional desserts at Seder are not very good. They're a box cake. It's a box cake. It's, macaroons that come out of a can, that sort of thing. So this is like something
special.
Yeah, and it's, homemade and everybody will love it.
So this is a great gift idea.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay, we got some serious bubblage going on here.
Okay, that's great. So now the next step is you're going to want to pour it all over your matzah.
Okay. See how hot this is. This isn't too hot. I'll be all right.
Make sure your offset spatula is ready to go.
All right. She's so jealous of my offset spatula.
I know.
Why is it so good?
Well, this is a really nice one, and mine's a little bit smaller, so I guess that's why I'm having the envy.
You got a tiny spatula. All right, so just pour it straight up?
Yep, just pour it over as it just kind of...
Like drizzle like
just
this?
kind of go, exactly. You want to coat the sheets of it so that every little piece is going to...
Okay, this is not hard so far, Shana.
No, it's not.
Other than this is like a rather intensely heavy pan.
Exactly.
All right.
And so then you want to work fairly quickly to spread.
Because it's going to start to set, right?
So
spread that out.
Spread that out all over.
And when you have caramel sometimes and it's more soft. Will this be more soft or more crunchy?
It'll be crunchy because you're going to have it in the fridge. And then, it'll kind of get a little softer once it stays out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
But, and it's okay. As you can see here, we didn't quite get it right to the edges and not every piece got coated. So, those won't make the final
cut.
No, those will go away. But the cool thing is we're going to put this in the oven and it'll spread out even more.
Oh, nice.
So, if you didn't get all the pieces and you weren't perfect, it's really okay.
And it's just food.
It is.
This is not.
I mean, honestly,
not brain surgery.
There's going to be no mistakes here.
So what's our next step?
The next step is we're going to put it into an oven that's been preheated to 250 degrees.
I think I got that. So we'll do that. All right, and how long do we leave that go?
So the idea is 10 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
However, check it after 10 minutes because there's nothing worse than burnt toffee. I know they said that you could save some burnt things, but you really can't save burnt toffee.
You can't just chop off the entire toffee.
No, and you really can't say, hey, let's call it burnt toffee because it tastes burnt. So check it after 10 minutes. Usually it needs to go a full 18. So check it after 10, let it go 4, then 2, and kind of count down to 20, no more than 20 minutes. And what you're looking for is either a really bubbly top or a smooth sheen. 15. Either one is going to be acceptable. So
All
it's
right.
ready now.
It's ready?
Yeah, it's been in there for about 14 minutes. So like we said, 10 to 20 minutes. You want to check it after 10. We put it back in for another 4, and it looks glorious after 14 minutes.
Don't burn yourself.
Don't. It's really, really hot. I would say that if you're doing this with children, this is not the time that you want to work with the kids.
This is not like the involvement stage of today's activity.
And so we're going to take chocolate chips, and I prefer milk chocolate, and we're just going to sprinkle them all over.
Oh, and these are nice. What brand
Ghirardelli,
is this?
that's all I ever use is Ghirardelli.
That's a great brand. I also like the Guitard.
Yes, Guitard is terrific.
Those are really
Valrhona.
good.
Those are a little pricier. And maybe not as accessible where people live, depending.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but definitely, oh, let me turn that.
and there you go.
But definitely, I mean, when it comes to doing the chocolate, it is important to get a higher quality chocolate,
I
right?
think so, because it really, I mean, some of those other brands, I won't mention them, but they're famous for their type of cookies. I don't care for them. You know, chocolate can have sort of a plasticky taste if it's
Yes.
not really refined.
Absolutely.
So these little pieces, as you saw, we talked about how they weren't covered.
Yeah.
We call these the chef pieces. So
We
they
can
didn't
enjoy
work out
those.
perfectly, but you'll eat them anyhow. So now we
Okay.
want a tent.
Perfect. I can create a tent with our tin foil.
Yay!
All right. Is there any magic of how to do this properly?
No, just kind of hang it up so it doesn't really like stick on there. If it does, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Of creating a tent. Is that significant to Passover tents?
And we may have lived in tents in the desert. I mean, we wandered for 40 years. We
I
had
mean,
to like
please.
set up shop somewhere. So, so now this is the other hard part. You can wait. Some people wait as long as 20 minutes. Those people are crazy. I don't know how they're waiting 20 minutes, but they are. You can wait anywhere from about 5 to 6 minutes. Basically, the tent is keeping it all in there so it'll melt nicely.
Thermal energy.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
whole little world of thermal energy melting those chocolate
Yes.
chips for us.
All the science geeks, you guys can enjoy that thermal energy.
All right, now we do the untenting.
Yes, now the big unveiling.
Go for it.
Okay,
Woo!
so get this out of the way, and then
Okay.
the handy dandy
I'm gonna
offset
let you do this.
spatula. And this is the glorious moment.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna spread.
And it just smells like chocolate.
I know. So divine. So here comes the fun part where you
Okay.
can call, you know, kiddos in to kind of help with this. So
That's
we're
fine.
gonna kind of do our own thing.
You got the
And
almonds?
I got the almonds, and
I got sprinkles.
make them so
So you could get really crazy though and put all sorts of fun stuff on
Oh
here.
yeah, you can put any kind of sprinkles, put more chocolate chips if you want. You know, you could put raisins. I remember like when I remember growing up, like those chunky, or even the Cadbury fruit and nut bars.
There you go.
So kind of,
So that it's healthy.
yeah, kind of the fruit and nut bars, they were chocolate and they had raisins in them and other kinds of fruit and nut. And so now here is the hardest part of all.
Do we have to wait again?
We do.
You've got me doing a lot of waiting. I
I
thought
know.
Passover was about like being ready to run, right?
Well, yeah, we ran and then we waited.
oh, it's the waiting.
But
okay.
yeah, we're like waiting for Godot here. So only ever show. So you're gonna stick this into the refrigerator
Okay.
for about 2 hours.
Okay.
And so I recommend that you put a trivet in first so that you don't bust any glass shelves or anything because this is
Sure.
still hot.
Oh yeah, we don't
So,
want to
and
fry
maybe,
anything.
yeah, and maybe use some towels. So I'll get the refrigerator for you. 'Cause I'm helpful
all right,
like
here we
that.
go. Oh yeah, because I left a lot of space for us.
Wow.
We're just put it on the leeks and on the. Oh here, let's go ahead and take these guys out. All right, and this is the final product.
This is the final product. So when it comes out of the refrigerator, you can just lift it up out of the pan by the tin foil and then just break it into pieces. They say bite size. This is the kind of bite I like to take.
like a big old. But I love how it kind of like seeped through, and it makes that nice little crunchy factor with the matzah, right?
Yeah.
Oh my lord, that's amazing! That's so good. I love that. Holy
So if
cow!
you're a fan of Heath Bar,
It's just
sprinkle
like
a
that.
little of this on ice cream as a little topping.
So smart.
So smart. So, you know, if you go to someone's house and you're giving them this as a gift, or even if you're hosting your own Seder, put a couple of these in maybe silver bowls in the middle of the table for after dinner while everyone just is still getting ready to like nosh or have a little coffee. This is great. Also, you can send people home
Oh,
with them. We have a
So
tradition
cute.
during Seder. Matzah plays a huge part in what we do during the Seder, during the dinner itself. And so we have 3 pieces of matzah at the table. We say a blessing over them. And traditionally, the head of the table, the father, will take the middle piece of matzah, and some point during the dinner, he breaks it in half and he hides a piece of it, and it's called the afikomen.
Okay.
And so what happens then after dinner, he goes and he hides the afikomen somewhere in the house, and the children will then have to go find the afikomen, and whoever is lucky enough to find it then can negotiate for money or for a trinket.
Situation.
Yes, and so it teaches them early on financial skills, but it usually
very important.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a fun little tradition. So if you want, you can let everybody, as I move, let everybody have a little bit to take home.
So cute. I'm just gonna eat this whole plate, Shana.
You go for it.
Thank you for coming over and doing this.
Thanks for having me.
So you can definitely find this recipe and more, joaniesimon.com. Let me finish chewing, because now I've got a mouthful of matzah. Matzah is kind of like a problematic thing. You can also find this lovely lady at Brilliant Sky Bakery, which, where should we follow you?
You can follow us on Twitter at Brill Sky Bakery, or you can follow us on Instagram, Brilliant Sky Bakery.
Brilliant. Because you are brilliant.
We are. Come on.
So thank you for joining us. See you guys real soon. Bye.